Today we are going to see class 7th heat and temperature chapter 1. So what are the learning objectives of this chapter? If you observe, we can see that to understand working principle of thermometer, to measure temperature using thermometer, to know about thermometric liquids, to differentiate between clinical and laboratory thermometer, to know the various units of temperature, to convert the temperature units of temperature and from changing Celsius to Kelvin. So we'll see all these. Before that, we'll start with the beautiful introduction. That is, here is an image where you can observe one is undergoing a very hot humid weather where he is sweating up. The another one is the cold or winter weather where he is experiencing the chillness. So we are able to, our body is able to experience this kind of changes in the environment, which is hot or cold outside. So this is the this change is known as temperature. So the measurement of warmness or coldness of a substance is known as its temperature. So it is a measure of an average kinetic energy of the particles. So what is kinetic energy? Kinetic energy is nothing but the movement of particles, that is the atoms present in the atmosphere or air. When it is bombarding between each other, it produces a kind of either heat energy or cold energy. So this is known as the kinetic energy of the molecule. It is due to the movement of the molecules. They hit each other and they produce the temperature, either heat or cold. Now coming to the units of temperature, degree Celsius. So Celsius can be denoted as degree capital C. For example, 20 degrees Celsius is read as 20 degrees Celsius. It is a centigrade as well. It is also called as centigrade. Now Fahrenheit is degree Fahrenheit. Okay. Next Kelvin. So all these are the degrees or measurements or SI units for the temperature, out of which standard unit is Kelvin. Next, we'll move on to the next concept, that is measuring temperature. How do we measure a temperature? So the objects of the temperature of the object is well approximated with the kinetic energy of the substance. So how the movement is there, how fast the molecule is able to move, it determines the temperature. So kinetic energy is directly proportional to the temperature. But the question arises, how to measure it? So molecules in any substance are very small. So to calculate its kinetic energy or the movement, it is difficult. So in order to measure temperature, you must use some indirect method to measure the kinetic energy of a substance. So how do we do that? We use an instrument known as thermometer. So in a thermometer, when liquid gets heat, it expands, and when it is cooled down, it contracts. So it is used to measure temperature. So there is a device used for the measurement of temperature, and the name of the device is thermometer. So thermometer can be majorly of two types, clinical thermometer and laboratory thermometer. So it is the most common instrument used for the measurement of temperature. So in thermometer, we use mercury or alcohol. Why do we use them? Because alcohol and mercury are used as they remain in the liquid form even with a change of temperature in them. So they don't get solidified or something. So they always remain in their own state of matter, that is liquid. So when there is a change in the volume of liquid, we measure it using the expansion of a liquid in thermometer. So here is the activity given for you to understand the concept of the changes in temperature in the thermometer and to how to measure it. We'll go to the properties of mercury. Why specifically mercury or alcohol is used in thermometer? There are some properties for them, right? So for mercury, its expansion is uniform. It is opaque and shining. It does not stick on the side of the glass tube. It is a good conductor of heat with a boiling point of 357 degrees Celsius and a freezing point of minus 39 degrees Celsius. If we take the properties of alcohol, the freezing point of alcohol is lesser than minus 100 degrees Celsius. Its expansion per degree Celsius rise when temperature is very large. So it can be calculated. it can be colored brightly, and hence it is easily visible inside the glass tube. So if it is placed in the glass tube of a thermometer, if you are using alcohol, it's easily colored, so the visibility is high, so we can easily identify the measurement, so hence it is used. Now the types of thermometer, as I already told you, there are two types, that is, one is clinical and the other one is laboratory. Clinical and laboratory thermometer. So these thermometers are used to measure the temperature of human body at home, clinics and hospital. So clinical thermometer are those which is used for measurement of for the temperature, body temperature, to identify fever or any kind of increase in temperature of the patient's body. So it is taken out of the patient's mouth, and it is placed in the patient's mouth, this part, and the measurement can be observed in the measuring scale. So a clinical thermometer indicates temperature from minimum of 35 degrees Celsius or 94 degree Fahrenheit to a maximum of 42 degrees Celsius or 108 degree Fahrenheit. So 100 degrees Celsius, if the temperature is more than 100 degrees Celsius, then it is said to be pyretic, that is, the patient is suffering from fever. Now precautions to be followed while using a clinical thermometer is that it should be washed before use, because and also it should be cleansed with antiseptic solution, because we will be using it in the patient's mouth. So when we use this in an infected person, and we again without cleaning, if we use it for a healthy person, then there are possibilities of communicable diseases to be transmitted. So in order to prevent this kind of diseases, we need to clean it properly. Okay, next, the jerk of the thermometer few times bring down the mercury level. Next, before use, the mercury level should be 35 degrees Celsius or 94 degree Fahrenheit. Do not hold the thermometer by its bulb. At this area, we should not have contact with hand. Only mouth or underarm should be have contact with this place. Only then the accurate value of measurement or the reading can be taken place. Otherwise, the reading may be wrong. Okay, handle the thermometer with care. If it is hits in some hard object, it may break, because it is made up of glass object, right? So do not place the thermometer in hot flame or sun. Next category of thermometer is laboratory thermometer. So these are used to measure the temperature in school and other laboratories for scientific research. So as the name suggests, it is generally used in labs. Hence it is known as laboratory thermometer. The difference between laboratory and clinical thermometer is that clinical thermometers are generally having low range, whereas laboratory thermometers have high range of measurement of temperatures. Okay, so there is no kink in the lab thermometer. Kink is a kind of structure which is present in the thermometer, which is observed in clinical thermometer. So it is lacking in, the kink is lacking in laboratory thermometer. Okay, so while using a laboratory thermometer, there are few precautions to be followed. That is, do not tilt the thermometer while measuring the temperature. Place it upright. Always it should be in a vertical position. So note the reading only when the bulb has been surrounded by the substance from all sides. Okay, next, here, do you know, in humans the average internal temperature is 37 degrees Celsius. Though it varies among individuals, no person has always exactly the same temperature at every moment. So temperature changes according to the surroundings. That process is known as homeostasis. So the human body has a natural ability to maintain its body temperature with respect to the external surroundings. So it is beneficial adaptation for the survival. Okay, two activities have been given, and the difference has also been mentioned in a beautiful tabular column, where you can observe the temperature range is different, and here there is no kink, and here kink is present. So you can read this tabular column for understanding the difference between clinical and laboratory thermometer. The third category is the digital thermometer, which is advanced form, right? So here the mercury is a toxic substance, and it's very difficult to dispose of if a thermometer breaks. So these days we are using thermometers, that is digital thermometer, which lacks mercury. So in digital thermometer there is a sensor used which can measure the heat coming out of the body directly. So here there is no mercury inside that. Okay, so measurement using a digital thermometer has become more easier than using a clinical thermometer, because if the glass cracks, then the mercury leaks out and it may lead to kind of pollution, all this stuff. So to clear out that problem, the digital thermometer, that is the advanced form, has came. So here also some caution is there. Alex wanted to measure the temperature of hot milk using clinical thermometer. His teacher stopped him from doing so. Why? Because we already know that it contains mercury and it is made up of glass. So while measuring the hot temperature and all, he should have used the laboratory thermometer, because it is only having the capability to measure the high range temperatures, right? So for laboratory works you should never use a clinical thermometer. Now, what are the scales of thermometer? That is Celsius scale, Fahrenheit scale and Kelvin scale. So these were the units of temperature, right? So these are the scales of thermometer too. Okay, the names were given by the respective one who discovered it, out of which the SI unit is always of temperature is always Kelvin. Next, boiling point of water, freezing point of water, and the mean temperature of human body in Celsius, Fahrenheit and Kelvin has been mentioned here. You can just notice it. So here are some numericals which, how much will the temperature of 68 degree Fahrenheit be in Celsius and Kelvin? So to transfer Fahrenheit to Celsius and Kelvin, you have a formula, that is F minus 32 by 9 is equal to C by 5. So out of which the value for the Fahrenheit has been given as 68, you can substitute here to find the value of Celsius. Then to convert, you can get the value in the degree Celsius. So you got the Kelvin value and Celsius value. Now to find out, okay, you have found out Celsius value. Now to find out the value in Kelvin, you should add 237.15. Okay, this is the formula. So here the conversion is being given. The main important points to remember or points to ponder of this chapter are: the measurement of warmness or coldness of a substance is known as its temperature. There are three units which are used, that is degree, Celsius, Fahrenheit, Kelvin. That is, out of which the Kelvin is the SI unit or major unit. The SI unit of temperature is Kelvin. Very good. So in a thermometer, when liquid gets heat, it expands. When it's cooled down, it contracts. So it is used to measure temperature. The thermometer can be of majorly three types: clinical, laboratory and digital. So relationship between Fahrenheit scale and Celsius scale is that Fahrenheit minus 32 by 9 is equals to Celsius by 5. If you want to convert it to Kelvin, you should add 273.15 along with the Celsius. So this is the conversion formula. So now we'll try to solve the book back. The international unit of measuring temperature is Kelvin, option A. In a thermometer, when bulb comes in contact with a hot object, liquid inside it contracts. The body temperature of a healthy man is 37 degrees Celsius. Mercury is often used in laboratory thermometer because it expands uniformly. Next, which of the following temperature conversion is correct? You can observe and tell that option A. So doctor uses dash thermometer to measure the human temperature, that is clinical thermometer. So at room temperature, mercury is in dash state, liquid state. Okay, heat energy transfer from dash to dash. Heat energy transfer from dash to dash. High pressure surface to low pressure. So minus 7 degrees Celsius temperature is dash than 0 degrees Celsius. Less. The common laboratory thermometer is dash thermometer. Common laboratory thermometer which we use is a mercury thermometer, right? Or lab thermometer. Next. So heat is a form of energy, that is 3 comes here. Then normal body temperature of human is 37, so 2 comes here. Boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius. So this is the match the following answers. So the next answers you can find it from the book itself. So it's very easy and interesting chapter. Thank you.